So, so if is there any question related to BIM, so-called BIM, Building Information Modeling, you can ask me. Okay. So basically, in this particular live stream, I am going to demonstrate, okay, I'm going to provide you an information about what is BIM and why it is so important. Okay, nowadays you can see there is one imagery I have posted here. Here you can see the visualization, okay, and the rest of the portion also listed. What is the importance of beam, okay, and why it is so beneficial for the today freshers, fresh peoples, okay, the people who are discovering the more job opportunities, why these things are too important. Okay, so in today lectures, in today live stream, let's talk step by step from the uh, designing phase to the final construction phase. This particular, this particular cycle, what you are seeing over here, okay, it start for the from the programming, it come to the concept designing, detail designing, analysis, documentation, fabrication, construction in four and fifth dimension, construction in manual way, and operation. So all these dimensions, okay, almost you can see first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seven, eight, nine, 10, 11, okay, and more dimensions we consider in beam. So basically, guys, before starting this live streaming, if you want to ask any sort of question, please post in the comment box, because or you can post in the chat box so I can reply quickly. Okay. So as I told you, the process start from the renovation. Each and every beam, this process is called as the starting phase to the operational phase. This means that you start constructing your designing, you start streaming your designing from the zero stage, and including the analysis, including the design, okay, including your day by day process, including your documentation, fabrication, quantity takeoff, construction, and all of the formats, okay, whatever you are going to utilize for your construction activity, this scenario will consider for beam. Okay, so now most of the people heard that beam is stand for building information modeling, so it may be stand for only building. No, not like that. Basically, this particular building what you are looking or seeing over here, I just put here for sake of reasons so I can explain you. Okay, this is not basically for only beam. Building information modeling is a concept which can use, okay, for infrastructure development, for real estate development, and for other developments also. Okay, and this is really very one of the important parameter which you need to understand. Okay, so now, without wasting more time, if you want to send this particular message to your friend, just send them that today we are going to discuss on BEAM, Building Information Modeling, so they can also get more information about it. Okay, so basically, in this particular presentation, we are going to discuss about the introduction, literature survey. What is the aim of the project if you are going to formalize with the respect to the, with respect to the beam model? What will be the block diagram? What are the expected result you are expecting from the, from this beam model? What will be the work plan and what are the references I had took for this particular overall presentation? So Galib over here. Hi sir. Hi Galib. So let's start from the presentation. I hope that everyone will join soon and stay till last so you will get proper information about BEAM. What is BEAM and all. So the BEAM stand for, as I told earlier also, Building Information Model, which can use for not only building, it can be used for any sort of activity, not only for activity, not only for construction design phase, even though after that, okay, even though after that the operational start, or after operational phase also you can use this particular kind of phase. Now, Mohammed Galib asked one question, बीम के लिए कौन सा सॉफ्टवेयर यूज करूं सर? Yes, Mohammed Galib, there is a different questions. This particular question is very important, guys. Which software we should use? So ये जो particular question asked by the Mohammed Galib, There's a different softwares come under the beam. You know, beam is not a one kind of software. It is a concept, first of all. So let me clear my definition first. The building information model is a set of information that is structured in such a way that the data can be shared. Okay, that means that a building information model is one concept through which you can do the analysis, you can do the design, you can do the documentation, you can prepare your three-dimensional model. Okay, you can deliver that model through the cloud source. It means like your let take one example. When your site engineer is working on a site, you design one model, you have some documentations, okay, and you are sitting in the office. At the time the supervision person required some documentation and model for construction, he will ping you and you will send the data through your system to through your system to his laptop or his mobile. So this is quick identification, quick renovation of the system, due to which you are managing your time. There is reduction in time. Okay, there is reduction of the paperwork. Okay, there is no need to take the drawings and just wait for the activity need to be done. Okay, if any error on the site, you are going to mark on that plan. So all these circumstances when come at one single space, that is called as a beam. That's why I have put over here that the building information model is a set of information. It is not any kind of software. Okay, for BIM, we use different kind of software that I'm going to provide you soon. Okay. So in structured way, okay, we are going to provide this, right? Yes, Mohammad Ghalib asked one more question. 4D and 5D के बारे में कुछ बताइए sir. Definitely in soon in this live streaming, I'll be definitely providing all information. Okay, just stay tuned. Right. A beam is set of digital model. Okay. A beam is set of digital model of a building in which information about project is stored. This is one of the very important portion of BIM. Whenever you do any sort of analysis, any sort of drafting, designing, documentation, modeling, quantity takeoff and construction schedule, all these things, beam concept we store all this data, and this stored data we can utilize for our day-to-day life in construction activity. Why we use? To manage the cost reduction, to manage the time reduction, due to which we can deliver the project in time. We can deliver the project at what projected time, due to which contractor profit not become less, okay, and he can fulfill his requirement, okay, and he can fulfill the client requirements. So all this scenario comes under the B. Now, it can be 3D, 4D integrating part, or even 5D, which is including cost. Okay, right up to nth D. What is ND? There are different number of dimensions we have in beam. Okay, as I show this particular kind of image, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's a 10 dimensions we have. I have shown over here. Okay, but you can see, guys, here we have projected ND. It means there is a different kind of dimensions we can form in a beam concept. Okay, what is beam? Beam help the civil engineers. Beam help the construction industry to reduce the project cost, to reduce the time, not to provide excess amount of time. All this scenario. Okay, now you can see, guys, what are the problem in construction industry. Before starting to beam concept, you need to understand what are the problem and why this beam concept come in the picture. Okay, due to the construction industry problems, all project revenue margin decrease at certain cost, which definitely impact on the time and quality of construction. Yes, definitely. When you worked for any sort of project, and if your project is having the overall revenue of 100 rupees, which estimated cost of 80 rupees, it means 20% is a margin of your project. Now, if your time or your cost of the project it exceeded, what does it means? There is lots of excess cost you require. It means instead of 80 rupees, you incurred 85 rupees. It means that whatever the contractor going to construct that particular project, okay, Instead of 20%, he's taking profit of only 15%. So that is the reduction of 5% impact on his revenue, on his margin. That's why BIM comes into picture to manage this 5%. Okay, it means whatever the contractor working on any sort of project, like the L&T is a big contractor in India. Okay, F1s is a big contractor in India. There's a different big contractor in India. Okay, so to manage all this cost minimization, okay, cost reduction, excess cost, cost overrun, okay, and time overrun, that's why this BIM specifically come into the picture. Now you can see these are the main reasons why what are the problems in construction industry. There's a poorly coordinated design documents, change orders and rework, delay and cost overrun, claims and litigations, greater risk, poor turnover documents, lack of proper planning, lack of coordination, poor decision making, lack of project monitoring and program monitoring, lack in value engineering adoption, actual analysis of construction as per time, cost, and quantity, and over allocation of resources. So all these are the problems which is already faced by the construction industry. Now, guys, you might be thinking about what is this? What is a link with our job? Why this beam is so important to get a job? Guys, let me clear you few things. If you know beam concept, it means you are in position to deliver the project in proper time and proper cost without taking a greater risk. These are the issues in our construction industry, like poor coordinated design document. First, this is very important portion. If you're working on any project, you are sitting in India and another person sitting in America, okay, and project is delivering in a, let's consider at one place in India. So the coordination is very important. If you not properly provide the coordinated, the required documentation to your people, so they are not in position to work properly. So the construction industry, which leads to formation of the beam, it is directly proportional to the poorly coordinated design documents. That's why in my first image I have shown you this kind of the documentation. Okay, and this documentations is very important portion in beam, and due to this only the beam comes into the picture. In soon I am going to deliver you, I am going to show you most of the results which might be you are not seen somewhere else, and this particular live streaming will change your concept about beam. Okay, now you can see the change order and rework. Definitely there are lots of work what we have found, like I have provided some work. Okay, we have done this work, but whatever the site engineer not execute the work properly, due to which contractor and consultant told him to just break this work and do the rework, due to which excess cost is required and excess time is required. Okay, and this particular not proper coordination happens, and due to beam, if we insert, if we apply the beam concept, okay, it means if we use a different tools for a beam, it means due to this particular change order and rework portion will never come. So like this, these are all the terms: greater risk, poor turnover documents, lack of proper planning, okay, lack of coordinations. All these issues are related to the dimensions. Okay, now most of the people like Mohammed Ghalib also asked me few questions like what are the softwares we need to use for beam. So let me answer this question very quickly. Okay, for a beam we use different kind of softwares, like we use AutoCAD software, okay, we use Revit software, we use for designing. If I'm talking about a building only, so we need AutoCAD, we need Revit, we need Statro or ETAB or any other Excel spreadsheet which is governed by the any design consultant for a designing and analysis of building. After that, we required the stimulation software like Navis work. Okay, and after that also we required Maxop project or Primavera for for the project monitoring, proper project planning. Also we required the different quantity takeoff like Excel and online tools, which I'm going to show you in my few coming lectures. Okay, that is going to be very interesting. Okay, last three lectures what I have put, okay, that are very important. If you see there's three lectures, your estimation concept will be clear soon. Now let's go to the next portion. Now Here I discuss about what are the problem in construction industry. But let me talk about what is the impact on the construction industry due to this marginal, due to this particular issues. So first is 30% reduction of project due to not meet the original budget. So 30% of the project always not meet their original budget. As I told you earlier also, if my cost is 80 rupees and my overall revenue is 100 rupees, so I instead of 80 rupees, I incurred 85 rupees. It means I have not performed my work in provided budget. My budget is exceeded. It means I do not meet the original budget. So in India or in overall construction industry, on an average, 30% of project do not meet their original budget. Okay, but if you utilize beam, we can reduce this particular percentage because we are already achieving 70%. Now we need to achieve the 30%. So if we achieve this 30%, that's why there is a job in a beam concept. Understand, guys? It is very important to look into this matter. Now next is 92 percentile. There's a 92 percentile of the client said that the designer drawings are typically not sufficient for construction. Yes, it is not sufficient for construction. Why? Because there is a lots of trial and errors. Some clients used to say we instead of this we want this data. Instead of this we want this particular data. So all these plus and minus things which needs to be monitored online. If this scenario got online, due to this your process will be reduced, offline process will reduce. This 92 percentage is due to the offline process. Like we done the design, we send the details, okay, and client check, and after 5 to 6 days he send the data. So this lack of coordination between the client and the consultant or the contractor, which leads to the this not sufficient drawing, like he is not satisfied with the drawings. Now 37 percentage of the waste of material. Definitely, most of the site, even though when your home is going to be construct, you can find out like at that time there is a lots of wastage we found. So if you do the proper planning, wastage need to be minimized. If you minimize your waste and you can utilize for a proper work, okay, then that particular concept is very important, and hence we implement project management in B. So BEAM consists of the designing portion. BEAM consists the analysis portion. Okay, BEAM consists the modeling, quantity takeoff, project management, stimulation, all this function, even though the operational things also considered in the BEAM. And 38 percentage of the carbon estimation emission from the building. Definitely when you construct any sort of building, okay, there is a carbon emission. Okay, so carbon emission leads to the very bad effect on your society. Now you can see, let me clear this imagery for you. So whatever we discussed till now, this beam concept start from the programming, not from this. Okay, it start from the programming, then it come to the concept designing. So let me give an example how we are going to formalize and how we can use the different kind of softwares in this particular beam process. So Mr. Galib, I think your question answer will be distributed over here. So if I am a client, I have provided one project to one consultancy and one contractor. Okay. So first of all, I come over there. I tell him I want G plus 10-story building, and this is what plan we want. So as per my suggestion, okay, the client and consultancy prepare one draft plan and they show me. Based upon that, I have created one center line plan. And when I finalize the center line plan of building with the client, I shifted to the conceptual design. In this particular process, what I used to do in this process of BIM, okay, I do the analysis, like I identify the shear force, bending moment, twisting moment, stresses and all. Okay, and finalize whether it is sufficient to go for a design or not. Now, when I finalize it is good for the building, it is okay, then we do the design. Okay, so here my first dimension is clear, which is a first dimension. In which, in first dimension, what we used to do? We used to understand the client and what is the requirement. In second dimension, we used to do the analysis. In third dimension, we used to do the identification of the design. Like if I'm talking about the building, so here I'm talking about in design, what is the final dimension through which the building having that much load carrying capacity. Okay, so after designing, it means after three dimension, I went to the detailed design. In this detailed design, which comes under the third dimension only, in which you worked on the all the process. So you can see this analysis process why comes over here, because we already most of the time, the client says like we need to, we found that this particular design is not suitable for our building. Let's do reanalysis. So this particular concept also come over here. After that, when we do all process, when your design is done with the help of the StatPro software or ETAP software, so our process start from here. In the programming, we use AutoCAD software. Okay. In conceptual designing, okay, what we used to do, we used to work on the StatPro software or ETAP software or other design softwares which helps for the analysis and design. Okay, then when we found the final dimension of the column, beam and all, we went to the documentation. And this documentation, what we used to prepare, we used to prepare the section, okay, elevation of overall building based upon the design output. Like in from let's consider we worked on the designing in StatPro, and from that we got a final dimension with respect to the shear force bending moment and the load carrying capacity what we put with respect to the earthquake and wind loading. We got to know the final dimension which is better, which is good for the building construction, like 300 by 4, like 300 by 800, 300 by 400 depth of the beam, 300 by 600 of column, and different kind of foundation. Every sort of details we found. So in documentation, what we used to do, we used to prepare all details like the reinforcement details, floor plan. With respect to here, we used to use AutoCAD software also for the detailing. Okay, and we used to use the Revit software like for a preparation of the floor plan, section, elevation, and three-dimensional model. Now most of the people, you can see over here there is a fabrication work over here. So yes guys, BIM is not only about the design and documentation. When you are talking about the Revit software, here we just thought about the structural portion like beam, column, slab, door, staircase, shear wall, that's it. But in beam concept, using the Revit software, we need to work on the structural portion, we need to work on the plumbing portion, we need to work on the electrical portion, okay, we need to work on the interior portion, okay, we need to work on the ventilation portion. So whatever the requirements a normal building wants or required, all these things we need to prepare in Revit with respect to your design. Okay, and then we need to merge all these maps like MEP, structure, architectural, foundation, site, everything we need to merge at a single model, and that model act as a stimulation model. Okay, now let's talk about this dollar and time icon. What is this dollar and time icon? In beam there is a very importance provided the importance provided to the cost and time. Okay, because using Microsoft project or using the software like Primavera, or most of the company use Excel itself. Okay, so with the help of that, they used to identify first before doing this. Let's discuss without project management. After after worked on the Revit, okay, they used to do the quantity takeoff and used to prepare the measurement sheet and abstract of estimate. From that, when we prepare the measurement sheet, it is nothing but the BOQ, which is called a bill of quantity. Okay, so this BOQ reflect the total quantity, and using the rate analysis, okay, of each and every single item, which is start from the excavation, PCC, footing, filling of the boulder, cement, concrete of slab, everything. With respect to that, we assign to the bill of quantity, okay, and we got to know the what is the cost need to be incurred using material, labor, contractor profit, machineries, everything. So after work on a Revit model and after merging all other different kind of the structures in Revit model, we used to identify the quantity takeoff. That can be work in Revit itself or you can do in Excel also. Okay, but go for Excel, which is very good exercise. Okay, it will help you to provide a clear picture. After that, when you got to know, yes, this much amount of the cost is required for your overall construction activity, okay, then you prepare your task. Like what is first task? If I'm talking about a building construction, what I'll do, I'll first go to the site, okay, and I'll do all my documentation work first of all. Okay, then second, what I used to do, I'll clear my all site. Then I'll excavate the portion. Then I'll provide my PCC layer. Then I used to provide my foundation. Then I'll do my bottom column works, including the shear wall and my staircase foundation work also. Then I go to my first store. So like this kind of work, we need to program using the software like MSP and Primavera. And whatever the task you are planning in MSP and Primavera, that you need to link with the Revit software. And when you link this particular activity with Revit software and you use a software like Naviswork, which is called Naviswork Manage, this particular software help to stimulate and help to identify the planned versus actual process, planned versus actual cost. Okay, so you need to provide the planned start date and finish date for each and every activity, and you need to also need to provide the what is actual start of a activity and actual finish of a activity. Okay, so with the help of these, overall this building start from the drafting and end on the project management. Now yet to complete. When we start the stimulation, it means we start the construction activity. Okay, because we are putting the actual dates also. And when the construction like over, then overall management of the like high-rise building is start. Okay, and this overall process need to be monitored through this overall process only. So this particular concept, this particular beam concept, so-called BIM, okay, consists of different softwares. Now I'll show some hierarchy. Guys, you can see I have made some literature review over here. Okay, basically I have prepared this presentation for few people who are pursuing their final year, and I'm very proud to tell that these people having that much very good encouragements by their professors also to do the project like this. So you can see what I have prepared. I'm talking about based upon my literature review. Okay, I have done a literature based upon the building information modeling, okay, which is a new approach provided by the International Journal of Engineering Research and Technology, in which I learned the methodology about the what is a project of G plus 6 story and how to manage the MSP software with respect to the simulation management using Naviswork. Okay, and they discuss about what is actual and plan schedule monitoring. Then we learn in next lecture, next literature survey about beam for reinforcement detailing, how we can use beam for reinforcement detailing of RCC. Now you might be thinking about what exactly going on. Are we using beam for a overall construction of building, or we can use for a single entity? You can use beam for single entity also, or you can use beam for overall construction of building also from start to end. Like as I told you, you can use what is why we use beam. That is one of the basic question. We use beam to manage our cost, time, and all other risk, right? So you can see if I use my beam for the this project management only, but for that work, I definitely require the rest of the things. So that's why beam is important from the initial stage to the final stage, right? Now you can see, guys, this is what block diagram I have prepared, and this is the last slide I'm going to define you. In coming live lecture, okay, I'll be providing you the more demonstration of the building information modeling. Now you can see this particular block diagram, okay, and this particular block diagram help you to understand the concept what is a beam. So you can see this beam is nothing but start from the site selection. Okay, so let's talk about an example. First of all, I want to utilize beam concept in my project. So I select one site. Okay. I select one site where I want to construct my building. Okay. Now after that, I used to collect data from site photographs and CAD drawings, right? Then from the collection of softwares, I used to draft my plan. I used to prepare my plan. Then I used to do my design. Like here, I have not provide a software of designing, because here I consider Revit itself as a design software, because in Revit also we can design a model. Then after designing, we consider the MEP of Revit, like what is a mechanical, plumbing system, all structural system will come under here. I have selected one software of design which is called ETAB over here. But yes, you can use ETAB and Revit post software for designing. And after when your design is complete, your model is ready with the Revit and all other material is ready, you need to use a software of Microsoft Project. And you need to use this link, this task of the project with this Navis work. And then you need to stimulate. When you start stimulating, it means you start from the zero date to the last days. So you need to provide a plan duration, start duration of each and every single activity. And with the help of that, you are in position to work out what is a process. So in today lecture, I have provided an information about what is a concept, okay, and how it perform. In tomorrow live session, guys, we will be looking at how we need to, what are the demo, okay. In tomorrow lecture is live lecture is very important, because in tomorrow lecture I will be showing you start of the beam model and stimulation of the beam model. Okay, so this is very important video which I am going to cover tomorrow. Okay, so I hope that you all cover maximum. I have covered maximum details today. So let me conclude my presentations. Beam is nothing but a concept which include different softwares, which is start from the drafting stage, design stage, modeling stage, MEP stage. Okay, it comes to the process like where we used to start with the project management, cost identification, budget preparation, when and you come to the stimulation. So all this process, okay, in tomorrow live session, I'm going to provide you live. Okay, so stay tuned. Thank you so much. There is only less people are there, but I expect tomorrow will be lots of people, because in tomorrow live session, I'm going to demonstrate you what is beam. Okay, so Mohammed Galib, thank you so much. Neil Saha, thank you so much that you watched my video. This video will be available, okay, on same channel. But guys, if you have any question, you can ask me here. I am able to answer your questions. Any doubt, any questions you have, please ask me. Yes, Mr. Galib, if you have any question, Nilsa, if you have any question, okay, like Srinivas, if you have any question, and any other people who are watching my this live stream, okay, you can ask me the question, okay, so I can provide you proper information over here. So I hope everyone understand the concept today, right? So guys, don't forget to subscribe my channel, and this channel is very important for all of you. In tomorrow session is very important for all of you people, because don't miss tomorrow live session, because tomorrow live session will help you to generate a very good information, okay? And definitely you are going to enjoy tomorrow live streaming, and you will be looking the one of the different kind of pattern, okay, in tomorrow live session. So I hope that you understand it properly, okay, and everyone understand very properly. So I think I should stop this live streaming. So thank